test for our, what we're going to call for short, the 38, oh my goodness, 38 Black Series gamer. So I've been up early this morning, had some stuff to get ready to get set up for down here. So yeah, I'm a little bit beat. All right, so this is our 38 Black Series gamer. First test we're doing is called a black versus black. Now the black versus black test allows us to see how the screen compares to black paint, black film, and other black surfaces. We do this all the time when it comes to black screens. It's one of the demonstrations we like to do. This is also testing to see where the screen's white levels are going to lay at, because I said before that when you're doing black screens, you have to have a balance of white levels and black at the same time to produce color. If not, the screen's going to come up too dark and you're going to have some issues. All right, so first thing we're going to do is have to go to white levels first, and then we go to color, and then we're done. White screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
All right. Now, when we do these tests have to be done in a fully lit environment. We will be doing some of the tests with the lights out, but it's very important that the screen absorbs, and especially when it comes to the color test, that the screen absorbs it as much light as possible. Usually people will try to do these tests in the dark due to the fact that in the dark, a screen's going to be to maintain color a little bit better than a well-lit environment. So as you can see, the film and the black paint is not matching our technology at all. This is something we go through a lot when it comes to testing. Testing, as I said before, is extremely important. Anytime you see any demonstrations with that capital, and all capitals with test, means that it's a test demonstration. All right, let's go over to blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now we do the white levels. We have to see when we do the white screensaver. It allows me to see exactly what color, the white levels, the white balance. And the white balance will let me know whether or not my screen's producing a too bright or too dark. Which I don't want to see either one of them. So right there, displaying the color blue. You can see our technology is pulling the best blue. Like I said before, actually when you're doing black screens, you have to have a perfect balance of white and black at the same time. If the screen is too dark, then the problem is that you won't be able to pull color because you have no white levels, and the screen is too light. And if it's not an actual black screen, which we've seen this before, people trying to pass off very dark gray screens as black screens, you're going to have a really hard time trying to pull a contrast level. It's not going to show up. That's why the gunmetal screens don't pick up on the screen, because they're producing gray and the screen is producing black. So there's our color. All right, let's go over and let's pick up a slow color change out.
Getting that from YouTube.
So this allows me to change to multiple colors.
You are powerful.
Now, one of the problems I see when people, I've seen it rarely, I don't see a lot of people making black screen paint products, but one of the things we do see is we see screens picking up too high of a contrast level. That is extremely bad, because that means the screen's going to have an issue with being able to accept white light. There we go. There's a slow color change out. And we're going to be running two tests today. We're going to be running the black level test. This will be posted directly to the website. And I'm actually building a section on the website called the Black Series. So it gets a lot of information on the new screen paint product and all that stuff. It will be available in only 32 ounces. 32 ounces is more than enough. This stuff has amazing coverage. So I was able to do, we had 32 ounces in the container. That wasn't 50, it was actually 32 in the container. I was able to do 120-inch screen upstairs, and also to complete this screen we have downstairs at 129 inches, 1610. So 32 of this stuff covers a great deal. Now, sorry if you hear any sniffing and coughing or basically, well, not coughing, but basically sneezing or any of that, sniffles and all that. I cut the grass yesterday and I'm paying for it. Oh, at least it's not that bad, but it could have been worse. And I still have to be outside in it today. All right, so we're doing a slow color change out. So you can see first test on our products. We're pulling a much beautiful color. Colors are not coming up dark, that's what we don't want. And white levels are maintaining. All right, let's go to 4K Snow Screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
As I said before, I can't express this enough that these are extremely important tests that have to be done. You have to test your products against other products that may look exactly like yours. Extremely important. Because this allows the customer to get a good understanding that at the end of the day that they are actually getting a product and they're not getting something else. We get asked all the time when it comes to our black technology about how our product may do the same thing as black house paint, black film, black fabric, stuff like that. That's why these demonstrations are extremely important. And not only should these demonstrations be displayed on the YouTube channel, but they should be displayed directly to the website where the customer can get an understanding and get a good look at what they're purchasing at the end of the day. And if you find yourself in a situation where basically whoever is developing a screen paint product and they refuse to do these test demonstrations, I'd say back away, stay far away from that product, because again, this is an untested product you'll be dealing with and you're going to have all sorts of problems. They don't know what's wrong with it because, again, they haven't tested it. You want to make sure the product is tested. Let's go grab ourselves another white level right here.
The live sports, news, and entertainment you love or less. Visit Sling.com
As you can see,
to learn more.
nothing's going to pick up next to the screen if it doesn't. The black paint and the fabric, sorry, black paint and the film is not going to pick up.
Discover that even out here, you're never alone. Find out what true adventure really means with the most awarded SUV brand.
Now also to keep in mind, when you're watching test demonstrations like this, or people trying to do these demonstrations, and no way is the person ever supposed to walk over to the screen and try to show you the difference. That's a major red flag. If they can't see it from where they're standing at where the projector's at, and they have to walk up to the screen and show you the difference, that's not a good sign. It's an extremely bad sign. So that's something else you have to look for when you watch video demonstrations. Make sure that the person gets up, if they walk over to the screen to show you, if they be that close to the screen to see the difference, that's going to be a problem because you're not going to see that same difference sitting back at 12, 13, 14, 15 feet from the screen. So if you notice, we're back here. This is where we're sitting at. This is where my stand is at, right over here. The projector is at. Make sure we keep a distance. Make sure we have plenty of light in the environment. So that way we don't have to worry about, the screen being, we don't want the screen in an ambient light controlled environment. That's the last thing I want it in. Because if I have it in an ambient light controlled environment, that means if I put it in a fully lit environment, it's going to have some issues. All right. Now we're also too going to be showing some demonstrations how to spot a genuine product from us. One of the things we look for is, you see that screen on the other end, the one that's really dark, that's house paint. So house paint doesn't match any of our products. Whatever we develop doesn't match it. When we see videos coming up where the item is that dark, especially on a white level like this is how we know at the end of the day that that is basically a fake demonstration, and again, not our product. So this is how we help customers. When we have our stuff displayed onto the website, they can see how our products react to black paint. And if you notice, if you go to others, again, very few people will do those demonstrations, like I said, because it's very hard for them to back the product up. Now, as I said before, this is not even available yet. It's not going to be sold yet. And this is why I explained to you that this is why tests are very important. Before this product ever lands into a customer's hand, before it ever goes to a batch number, it has to go through these series of tests so we can see what the screen can do. This also helps us, screen paint can do, and also helps us out too with the specification sheet on the product. We see a lot of people, well, I'm not saying a lot of people, it's a few individuals who basically have products that are untested. They don't know anything about them, and therefore they can't do simple, basic test demonstrations due to the fact that in fear the screen is going to fail. And if the screen fails on a test, that means, and it's being sold at the same time, that's another major red flag. Now, I think when this demonstration is done, we're going to do a white level demonstration, and then we're going to do some cheap gray screen paint products to show you why this technology is more superior. I mean, think about it. This screen can take on 9 certifieds and turn every last one into a white sheet of paper. Or what in the world could a gray product do at the end of the day? But we get these emails from time to time about what about putting it against the microblend, or putting it against the Network Grade 773. It's just going to be a cakewalk, but we'll show you. We have time. We can put it in there real quick. Not in this video, not in the other one. So as you can see, the screen, the black paint and film is suffering. And we've had people ask us about, what if I use black film? Am I going to get the same reaction? And no, what's going to happen is these surfaces are not designed to receive and accept white light. So they're not going to be able to pick up anything. It's just going to be a very dark image. Now, contrast levels, yes, you can pick up. Color, you're going to have a problem with, and they're also too going to have a problem with when it comes to white levels. All right, let's go over here. Let's grab this one.
More controllers are switching to RAM, which means more teammates are switching to RAM. And more that, and that, and whatever that is, are switching to RAM.
Carl, why doesn't Indiana use mascots?
Mascots are silly. Saving money isn't.
You think I'm silly?
Fantasy Snow Screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I like this one. This one has extremely high white levels. So the theory behind black screens is the fact that they're not supposed to have the ability to be able to pull really high white levels in welded environments, due to the fact that the screen is already struggling as it is to maintain the white level due to the fact that it's a darker surface or darker product. And that's when the theories I get from experts on the other end have made this statement to me multiple times. So our technology can produce white levels in a highly lit environment, and we can do it against other black surfaces and still maintain a much higher white level. Now, when I tell you when you do see comparisons, or people do comparisons, a comparison is never ever supposed to match the screen. I mean, if you get a high-end screen matching your screen, then that's a good thing to a certain degree, because again, if your product's cheaper, then you may got on that one right there. But again, you're still gonna have to go through a series of tests to prove that you're equal to that technology. But as you can see here, when we're showing you the demonstration, it's not supposed to match in any way whatsoever. And I've literally seen demonstrations so bad that the screens were literally matching. You couldn't tell one from the other. And like I said, someone has to get up and walk over to a screen to show you a contrast level, to show you a difference in the color, or anything, even white levels. This is a major, major fail. You're not supposed to show a screen's not supposed to match in any way whatsoever. So if I show this black screen here, you say it looks exactly the same way as under the surfaces we have up here, and there's a slight little change, that's not enough. That's an absolute complete fail. Because that means at the end of the day, instead of the customer is spending the money for this technology, ours, they can just go out and get the house paint instead. So that's why it can't match. So like I said, I've seen some stuff, and I'm not going to mention what I saw. No, I mentioned what I saw, but I'm not going to mention who it's from. But yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But you're not supposed to match. There's the white levels right there. Where we at time, doing good. Now we like to record our tests live. Like I said, you got things to do, you say go do it. These are strictly done live to back the product 100%. All test demonstrations must be done live. Let's get another one. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting one from YouTube.
To show you how important it's why you have to have a screen maintaining its white levels. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting one from YouTube.
No, she's not listening today, is she? Let's try her again. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting one from YouTube.
And still got me the wrong one. What did she get me? Skywood. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting one from YouTube.
There we go. Now, that's a bit of a struggle right there, was it? As you can see, not only are your white levels going to suffer, but color is going to suffer horribly. So that's the reason why we have to do these tests to make sure that our black levels are coming up nicely, but also too, we don't want to see where the color is going to come out dirty. We don't want to see white levels coming up dirty. And this shows you at the end of the day how our technology can exceed and reset white light when these surfaces can't do it at the end of the day. Whoa! Oh my God. You gotta be kidding. Oh, people, you gotta kill something. I don't even know which way to go with this. You gotta see. I told you something weird always pops up in my videos. This literally just ran off the egg. You see the size of that thing? That's the one thing I don't like about this.
Up to 72 hours with extreme night receiver.
Keeping my eye on that real quick. Moment. I need to get me something big to kill that with. Wow. All the stuff we had in here, literally, stacks of paper and stuff like that, and we can't find one thing to kill the murder thing with. Sorry about that, people. Weird stuff always happens in my videos. This is another one. That's weird it's happening. I gotta kill a giant spider, and I mean, this is a big one. Man, that was a big one. That's a big one. That was definitely a big spider. I tell you, that's what I say. That's why God, I said the other day, protects you. Definitely protects you. That thing was the size of a quarter. It was huge. It was wrapped up in this black fabric, which I was trying to find some black fabric for some testing, and it had bounced off my leg. It ran across the floor up to the side of that area right there. And I was able to go in and smack that thing with some of those stencils I had over there and kill it. That's another reason why I want to get out of here. Not a big fan of spiders, not that size, not in the day. Usually when they're that big, they stay in one spot. They won't travel around the house. You don't have to worry about that. Spiders usually are territorial creatures or insects. They will stay put. So if they have a web set up, they're not going anywhere. That's their hunting grounds. When people worry about when they see big spiders that they're going to move, it's really extremely rare that one will actually move out of a web and go someplace else. They'll usually stay where they're at, where they're comfortable. Whew. So I ain't worrying about them moving about the house because that's how they are. That's why if you catch a web, you're in this home. All right, let's go back. We're not go back. We're good. I'll tell you, every time we do demonstrations, one time with a bird in the house, a few things pop up weird and interesting in our demonstrations. All right, let's go over here. We have to grab a couple more. LG snowboarding demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Definitely interesting. Yeah, we get some crazy stuff. Definitely get some crazy stuff. Man. Now, as I told you before that the black series is black, there's a different shade of black. It's our custom shade of black. So, some people think that if I can mimic the shade of black, I can get the same results. No, there's actually 4 elements we drop in it to get the screen to react that way. So, the reason why we do this is because I've done a business. I literally had a company, we sued them over something really stupid they should have did. They wanted to make a fake invoice, busted up the containers to make it look like they were damaged on shipping, and put everyday paint in there to make it look like with our product. Made a fake invoice so we can give them back money. It was a large sum of money. And when we did the pour out, they matched side by side, but we painted them and dried. Our screen dried a different color, same black but a different shade, and theirs didn't. And that got them a lawsuit and a breach of contract. So you learn from your mistakes. You can't go in bright-eyed, bushy-tail and trust everybody. You'd be surprised at the end of the day what will pop up. So that's black fabric. That's black house paint. And that right there is black film. We get requests for black film all the time. Now we have some people that think that, okay, if I get a black sheet or a black piece of fabric, I can just spread it. No, you won't. You'll get the contrast levels. Your color and light levels are going to suffer horribly. I want to go back on this because now we have the fabric, and I'm going to skip that. Big spider. Where, do you see still there? Yeah, I killed him. He's going. Let's go with, again, with the Skyworth. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting live on YouTube.
Oh, here we go with this one. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting live on YouTube.
You can't get any more clear than that, can you? Let's try this one again. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting live on YouTube.
Am I speaking another language here? What's going on here? Now, those of you that are developing black screen paints, guess what? This is what you're going to have to go through. And not only will you do this at 5,000 lumens, will you drop it at 1,000 lumens. And you will do this in all this lighting we have down here. Now, I've seen people cut corners on trying to make black screen paints. We've asked for testing, and no tests were actually presented. The reason why they can't present tests, because they haven't done them. All they did was just make some black paint, stick it up in a dark environment, and say, look, contrast levels is coming up darker than a gray screen, and it's done. It is nowhere done at all, period. You have so much testing to do, it's not even funny. So, those who are claiming to make black products, and they're not doing demonstrations like this, you don't buy it. So they request a demonstration to be done. Now, yes, this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Why not? I would rather have a product done 100% right than have it done halfway done. People pay a lot of money for their projectors and their setups and everything. Get the best when it comes to home theater. And your screen is the most important thing you will ever need. Or actually, most important thing you will have on your setup. You have an amazing projector, but without that screen, that projector is worthless. If I had my way, and I was in charge of who got, like I said, who got the approval, we would make sure everything had to have a test. Everything had that test. That's why I ask you, at the end of the day, gentlemen, where are your tests? Another thing you have to worry about too, what you need to watch out for, is fake lighting in the environment. Can't express that one enough already in the day. And that's basically where you have a very dark environment and you have LED lights that are pushing up from the side of the screen. Now, if you notice, you look at the LED lights on this side, the only reason why those lights can illuminate in this light, because there's a wall right there, gives them that reflect. But on this side, nothing. On the floor, nothing. They don't pick up in here because, again, the light we have in here is generating too much light and it cancels out the screens. At the bottom, none of that lights up. Now, when I watch demonstrations and I see light constantly illuminating from the screen and it's actually brightening the environment, that lets me know at the end of the day, the screen cannot be used in a fully lit environment because of the washout. Same thing with certified screens and ambient light controlled environments. Let's go check out the color red.
Getting live on YouTube.
Make sure our screen is maintaining the nice bright red. So if you were to get a 100-inch piece of fabric, black fabric, and you were to go out and basically take that black fabric and think you can watch a movie off of it, your contrast level is going to pull, but everything else is going to come up really dark and dirty and ugly. Blue screen.
Getting live from YouTube.
So these are demonstrations that we have to show our customers. Well, we don't have to, but we do show our customers and companies. When people contact us, the first thing will come up sometimes in conversations, well, can I do the same thing with black fabric? Can I do the same thing with black film? Can I do the same thing with black paint? And we have to be able to show them this. This is why we have it on the website. This is why when people think I'm actually coming at, no, you're not coming at that person. That person should be doing this automatically. You should be able to go to the website. The same video you're seeing here, this is going to be on the website. You have to be to see what you are purchasing and what you're buying. Slow color change up.
Getting live from YouTube.
L'Oréal Paris presents the shades of colorish. 52 wearable colors infused with ocean.
Very important that tests are displayed on the website. So to me, all screen paint products would have batch numbers. Every last one of them have a batch number attached to them. And all tests would be displayed on the website as it should be. So as the screen starts to change out, you will see their technology stays intact where the other black surfaces will not. Man, that's making me want to go basically tear my whole shop down and vacuum up from one section to the next. Make sure we ain't any more of them bad boys in here. I'm not really worried, like I said, they're territorial, but still. I don't want them in here. All right. Neon pink screensaver.
Getting live from YouTube.
Green screensaver.
Getting live from YouTube.
All right. 4K snow screensavers.
Getting live from YouTube.
Snow. Okay. TCL 4K demonstrations.
Getting live from YouTube.
J&K 4K demonstrations.
Getting left on YouTube.
Meet Google Pixel 6a, the smarter phone that can see in the dark with night sight, fix your photos with Magic Eraser, and photograph all skin tones accurately with real time. Google Pixel 6a. Buy Pixel 6a and get up to $300 back.
Now, the reason why we have the 5,000 lumen Christie projector behind us, because I even, like I said, in conversations with people when we do business with them, would think that if they go out and get themselves a high enough lumen projector, maybe they can be to squeeze the white levels out of the surface. It's not going to happen. It can't register white light. There's a science behind it. It can't register and won't see it. It only can accept black light. That's it. So we've had that before. What if I get 7,000, 10,000? You go ahead, spend the money. You're not gonna get anything out of it. Nothing's gonna pull out of it. It's not designed to do that. Let's go to let me see. 4K demonstrations.
Getting left on YouTube.
This is why when we go to buy other black products to bring them down here, we can't get them. Because they know these are the kind of tests we're going to throw at the screen paint. And if they haven't done the test, then they don't want it coming down here. But these are tests that should be done. Because the last thing you want to do is paint up 150 inch of a black screen and it comes up looking like that. Now you're going to have a problem on your hands. Now, before this product ever gets a batch number, before any of our product gets a batch number, they have to go through these tests first. And even after that, we can do the batch number with ease because the product was tested before the batch number ever existed. That's why the batch numbers have a tremendous amount of weight standing behind them, because there were test demonstrations done that we could easily do a batch number with. But the reason why they can't do a batch number is because they never did the test. So they don't know how the screen's going to react. Now all these tests are done live. I don't even know how the screen was going to react, if it's going to pick up, or if it's not going to pick up, if the white level's going to transfer, what was going to happen, if it's going to come up too dark. Everybody's seen this for the first time. I've done this so many times, I know exactly how it's going to react, and most of all, as I said before, and I can't say it enough, all our technology comes from God. Everything He blesses us to have works quite well. You're not impressed that this is going to look in the showroom? Because that's the first thing that comes to mind. People see black screens. They think they're going to come up too dark and you can't see them. Now imagine you walk in and see this in the showroom and the screen is playing like this. We're going to have our test demonstrations on display. TLC 4K demonstrations. I think I said that right. I'm sure. I usually butcher that one. Now, just to note to someone real quick. Anytime you do a demonstration, like particularly this one, you have to make sure you have a huge screen size, especially if you're doing an ambient light projection test. The screen has to be big enough to absorb a ton of light, which means you have all this light in the environment. Look at the size of the screen, 129 and 1610. You cannot be on a 2x2. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why that's considered to be a joke. and you have to have a comparison screen laid against to show the difference. Like we'll do it against certified, we'll do it against white screens. Not today, we're going to be doing these are the tests that are coming up. We do it at low lumens, we do it at high lumens, when everything has to be back at a distance. Can't be up sitting on top of the screen when you do this. Because we've seen people like two incorrect demonstrations. I'm an expert in ambient projection technology. And after what I saw, that is not an ambient light projection test. No, not even close. Screen's too small, projector's sitting too close. And still there's not enough light in the environment. That's what you call, sorry Lord, that's what you call basically squaring out the bare minimum is just to squeak by. That's what it's called. We're doing test demonstration, screen should be 100 inches and up. Now see how it's seeing the contrast up on the darker screens, but they can't read the colors. That's the problem. I can't tell you the rest of it, but it's interesting. Right, what was the container we had this one? We got to mark it and time stamp on it, and then we have to make more. We need to do a roll. We need to do a I got to do a paint on. So we got a 150-inch display. We're gonna paint over it. See how much paint we got left. All our screen paint products have we test how much paint it takes to paint the screens. We don't second guess it. And again, that can mess somebody up at the end of the day too. It's doing absolutely fantastic. Let's go pull up the, let me see, we got everything here. Yeah, quite well, everything went well. Pulled up some colors, all that went well. Very happy with it. Got plenty of white levels on it. That came up fantastic also. So let me see. 4K demonstrations.
Getting left on YouTube.
Peaceful state. Oh, please. Wait, are you on line D?
Snow screensaver.
I found a few answers for that. Do you mean fantasy?
Snow screensaver fantasy.
I found a few answers for that.
Oh, she's just gonna be a headache today, I swear. Just get the demonstration as requested. 4K snow screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Need your firmware redone. My goodness. Gotta go through all that. Fantasy snow screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, you could have got that the first time in the first request, the first and second. Well, something else I'm gonna put up here. Okay, we did color. Just no color change out. We did that one already. Let's see. The white screen already. I don't think we did the white screen with the black strip of fabric. There we go. We did that one right there. Let me see. Did the LG snowboarding with it. Trying to think of something else we haven't done. I want to at least get an hour into this. I'm trying to think of something else. 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's see. LG food demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
I said before, when we do these demonstration tests on black versus black, we expect to see the same thing when it comes to gray screen paint products as gray versus gray. And we do expect to see the network blend, the micro blend, slip silver, and also too, we expect to see more demonstrations on the network gray 773. This technology right here, just for fun, because we don't take it seriously, it's a little too easy of a challenge. We'll be knocking out all of the micro blends color collection, and I think the entire strip of the 235 strip of the what do you call it, network gray 773. We'll knock the entire thing out. But other than that, when I talk about you don't see gray versus gray. You'll never see that ever will ever see that, because again, like I said, it'll be too close of a match. That's the problem you're going to have. Where we can do a black versus black and show the difference between our product and black paint, where they're going to have a really hard time showing the difference between their product and gray paint. Oh, I forgot. 2.0s can do that already from the door. Now you see how our product is not matching anyway. This exact demonstration right here was literally done against network gray 773 and was a perfect match. It's not supposed to match. Almost done. These tests can run anywhere between an hour to 3 hours long. They're long tests. We got a white versus white. We got a white level test to do next. We're done. Yeah, so. All right, that passed. Now it was a little too easy. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got to do a white level test next. So we'll be back in. This is why I had to be up early in the morning to get all this set up for testing. So now we got to do a white level test. And then after that, just for kicks and giggles, we're just going to do some of the, we got the micro blend on a huge sample sheet down here, and we have several screen paint mixes we're going to throw up against the screen, because you've been bugging me on that one. You know it's been bugging me about that, but I don't get it. But anyway, we're done here. Test pass. I'm going to be doing more of this for fun, just for the sake of it. I go to a couple of forum sites and I like to show off the technology, and especially the first thing we always get at the end of the day, every single time, it never fails to miss, that someone will come and go, well, I could do the same thing with your product with black paint. I can do the same thing with fabric. I can do the same thing with film. All right, no problem. But I love doing those. All right, got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. And of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always blessing us with amazing technology. Test passed.